Congratulations, you're dead. Hello there, and welcome to episode 4 of Congratulations, You're Dead. This week I'm speaking to my friend Grace. We talk a lot about her LARP experience and what she feels like her afterlife would look like. We did this a couple of weeks ago just after recording our other podcast, Two Goblins, which I recommend you check out. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Hello, and welcome back. With me this week, I have a LARPer, a fighter, a lover of a blacksmith. Grace, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
It's been so long since I've last seen you. We didn't totally just do another podcast together an hour
Not
ago.
at all. You've changed so much.
I
You have glasses now.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't wearing glasses last time. I do now because I'm a new man. No, I don't know.
Yay.
How are you since we last spoke, I guess, or how have you been recently?
Good. Cleaned up a little bit. Had a little bit of brekkie. We're good.
Stop using those drugs. You cleaned up. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like the wife and kids. They're all good.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So as I told you, I was meant to do this during lockdown, but I didn't because I'm lazy. But how was lockdown for you, being because you had moved recently and everything into a bigger city than where we're at, or where I'm at currently?
Yeah. I moved out into the big city, bigger city.
The bigger city.
Yeah. Let me know if you can hear it in the background, by the way.
I think I just heard someone go, meh.
Yeah. Yeah, living pretty much next to a highway. So.
Oh, that sucks.
But it's all right. It's not too. It picks up only when we're playing games and stuff, so it's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Did it keep you, like, being from a smaller town? Being from a smaller town originally, did living close to a highway keep you up and stuff?
It was bit of a struggle street when it came to recording and doing projects like that. But when it came to sleep, as soon as I lay down, I'm out. So.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Didn't bother you too much then.
No.
Could have been a lot worse.
You guys were pretty close to a highway though.
Not really. Talking about the last house we were in. It was kind of a main street of the area, but barely anything. The most that we got were trucks coming from the tip and people going and coming from the tip. But besides that, and the uni, because it was close to the uni, but besides that, not really. At least nothing that we heard.
That's good.
But I remember living in Sydney. Well, I mean, it's different because we live close to a railway track, so that's very different from a highway. But that was, I was young though, but I remember it kept me up a fair bit. But I do love trains because of it. I love steam trains because once every week a steam train used to come and go.
Really?
Yeah. So it made me love steam trains. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been, even when I lived in Melbourne, I don't think I was ever in like an area where it was like high traffic and stuff. So that's good. Or if I have been, I just don't remember.
Yeah. Just kind of repressed it.
Yeah, probably. So you've moved and we've beaten lockdown. Well, I've beaten lockdown,
finally.
but unfortunately, I have news for you.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Sorry.
you actually. That's fine. You can swear in this podcast.
Okay, cool.
I think with all the podcasts I've done, I've gotten sick of editing it, so I'm just just swear. Because I always miss it anyway. Like with the one I used to do with Dre, it would be like, "You missed a swear word." I'm like, nah, it's just fun. But
it's
anyway,
something.
Yeah, exactly. But I have news for you. You actually didn't make it out of lockdown. You died.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's a shame. I was trying so hard too.
Yeah, you almost made it, but at the 11th hour, you just
cocked it.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Let me ask you, how did you die?
You know what? I probably just had. I feel like I went into a food coma. Like I went catatonic.
Everyone goes with food coma.
Just didn't wake up.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Yeah, Dre went with KFC, Camille went with lychees. So you just food
lychees.
Yeah.
I think just food in general.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do in lockdown?
Yeah, right. That's definitely not the worst way to go, I don't think.
No, God, no. There are worse ways. I mean, getting hit by a bus wouldn't be too fun, I feel like.
Exactly. Like I went doing what I loved.
Yeah, eating.
Stuffing my face.
Yeah, I feel that at a spiritual level.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think
Well
we've
done.
ever talked about it, but are you? Do you believe in? I mean, I know your parents are religious. Are you
Hmm.
religious? Like, do you believe in heaven and hell or the afterlife and things of that
Yeah,
nature?
I suppose you'd call where I'm at right now, I'm quite agnostic.
Hmm.
I do consider myself quite a spiritual person,
Hmm.
but that isn't necessarily connected to anything at the moment. I have no certainties about anything.
Hmm.
So I'm just kind of leaving the book open. Anything that kind of comes my way, which has made it's made going through lockdown quite difficult because when you haven't got like that, like spiritual guidance, for example, it can be a little bit more difficult to come to terms with things like mortality
Hmm.
and dying. So it's
Hmm.
very interesting that you mentioned, and sad that I didn't get to figure out what I believe in before I went catatonic.
Yeah, exactly.
I believed
Um,
in food. Food brings
yeah,
people together. So,
yeah, it sure does. Yeah, I agree with that
Mm,
100%.
mm.
Yeah, that's fair. So you're kind of like the book's not completely closed. Like you're not atheist. You're like, there's nothing. Once the lights are off, the lights are off. But you're more like, I guess I'll see what happens when it happens.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Mm.
so. I think I admire people who are religious, I
Mm.
suppose. Um, but there's just too much beauty in the world, I guess, for me to be able to pin it down. I'm a very small being with a very small brain. I don't think I'll be able to understand the outer workings of the universe just yet.
Yeah,
But that doesn't bother me. I'm just kind of taking it as it comes.
that's good.
How about
That's a
you? Are
good way
you
to look at
a
it.
particularly religious person?
No, I'm like you. I'm agnostic. I thought I was atheist, but no, I tend to believe that there not has to, but I tend to believe that there's more than just what we're living in now.
Hmm.
But I can't say for certain if it's one thing or the other because there's no proof.
Hmm.
That's kind of like where I'm at.
Hmm.
But I do believe there is more than just once we're done, we're done. Like it seems a bit like I don't know. It seems a bit like just bookended. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, yeah, for
Mm.
sure. Like I take comfort in the fact that there is an end. Like I've talked to people before, and I struggle personally with the idea of an eternity, either
Mm.
an eternity of nothingness or an eternity in heaven or hell or whatever you believe in.
Mm.
So the idea of things coming to an end is somewhat comforting for me in
Mm.
a strange way.
Mm.
Even though lots of people say it's life is too short. Um, yeah, sometimes it feels incredibly short and sometimes it feels incredibly long.
Yeah, that's true. I've
Just gotta
heard
take
I,
it.
I heard this quote once, like a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember who it was from, but they said life isn't short. We just don't spend enough time doing what we love,
Mm.
or
Yeah, I feel
something
like
along
I
those
can.
lines. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I resonate with that
Yeah, me too.
in its entirety.
That's fair. Okay, well, the good news is there is an afterlife, which
Oh,
you were heading to, so that's good.
oh God.
What would your
I mean,
afterlife look like to you? Sorry, you
oh, I was just gonna say I probably shouldn't swear on God if
go. Uh, well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily have to do with God or anything, but
Mm, mhm.
um, but what would your afterlife look like to you?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. My like ideal afterlife.
Yeah, however you interpret the question, yeah.
My ideal afterlife would be Earth without suffering, I think. As I said, I've got a very small brain, so I don't think I'll be able to comprehend the idea of an afterlife other than what we've already got, which is Earth. And like, I think the closest you can get to heaven or to some idea of heaven is, um, community and love and kindness and all of those ideas.
Mm.
Uh, Pretty much what I imagine heaven is like. So, yeah, an Earth without wars and suffering and sickness, which I know a lot of people can argue is what the Christian heaven looks like.
Mm.
But a lot of theorists and theologists believe that we will have no connection to who we are currently. And I would like to think that we're all entirely unique humans. So I would love for us to be able to remember relationships with each other. And because, like, what's the point of spending an entire lifetime building relationships and then only for it to be like wiped clean as soon as you die? And it just feels kind of pointless to me. But
yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, like, like you said, we spend our whole lifetime meeting people and growing connections and relationships and stuff. It's kind of like, I guess it just feels like that full stop is kind of dumb, to lack of a better word. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to continue with that once you pass and whoever else, I think, at least. But I agree with that. Yeah, that's good. I haven't heard that before, so that's a good one.
Thank you. I think about death a lot. So
Oh, do you? Well, there's a good podcast for you then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gave you 2 categories and one for you to pick, and you picked.
I selected my own.
The first person to do so, by the way. So good job.
Yeah. So I'm guessing the others have chosen movies and. Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a mix. Well, we've had gaming from Dre, TV shows from Camille, and theatre from Lacey.
Oh, amazing. Well, I selected my own box because I really enjoy live action roleplay, and it is basically the only thing I ever talk about. So no one would expect any differently from me.
No, I guess not. Okay, so you go up to the afterlife, and the person waiting for you welcomes you in, and just casually asks you, "What's the first LARP game or something to do with LARP you remember seeing that got you into live action roleplay?"
Ooh, that's really good. I think it would have to be a video by Morgan O'Brien on YouTube. I think it was a Beakerline video, but it might have been something else, where I saw people LARPing, and I suddenly connected the dots that I could do the thing that I really enjoy, which is acting and theatre and dressing up and original characters. And that was a thing that adults still do. Like, I wasn't alone in that. So there was a very, very cool epiphany.
That's cool, because it is, like, obviously not LARP itself, but dressing up and using your imagination is much more of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, people see it as more of a kid thing, and then when you grow up, and at some point in your life you lose that, or you just stop doing it. So it's good that LARP's around, because you grow up and you're like, oh, people are still doing this, and you can do it again. And it does have that kind of classic vibe to it, I feel, of being a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely like I understand play is incredibly important to us as humans, and even not as humans. Like, you look at the animal kingdom, and play is still very much something that is like prevalent in like lion prides and in wolf pups, and it's something that does exist, and maybe we choose to lose it along the way, but a lot of us like to keep it alive because it also helps us cope with things like death and the fact that this earth isn't heaven. It is I think it's a very healthy and exciting and collaborative way to kind of keep that like youthfulness and creativeness alive. I suppose I think that's why I talk about it all the time, because maybe there's part of me that doesn't want to lose that youthfulness, but I also know that it's, for me personally, it's very helpful in just staying creative, keeping the mind active.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think it does too. That with D&D, I think, worked for me quite well as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's something next level about LARP.
For sure.
What's a moment in LARP that you've had yourself that means something special to you?
Ooh, that has meant something special to me. There
I
are
imagine
two
there's
that come to
okay.
mind.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot, but the first ones that come to mind are the time when I had the most like main character moment,
Mm-hmm.
because LARP is obviously a lots of different characters. Everyone has their kind of moments in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
At this particular time, one of my character's best friends had passed away in battle as a part of a scheme that other characters had been that have what's it called? Like a pirate. I feel I'm the worst pirate ever now. What's
The sea,
crew? Crew.
the crew. Yeah.
So my character's pirate crew had plotted against my character's best friend because of reasons, um, and ended up going back behind my character's back to
Oh,
put an end to that.
yeah.
And the moment when my character found out, um, and was like, "You've seen that scene from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, where Harry returns with Cedric's body and is the dad is like, "My son,
Yeah,
my boy."
yeah.
I shouldn't laugh because it's incredibly a heart-wrenching scene, but I was playing like the father at
The
that point,
father. Yeah.
and I was like,
Did you
"Get
yell
out of
out?
my way."
Did you yell out, my boy? That's my son.
Yeah, my son, that's my boy. The band's playing in the background because no one has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It was just a beautiful moment, and I cried. Like I was sobbing,
Mm.
and it was just such a surreal moment to be crying over a character, a
Mm.
person that doesn't exist. Um, and my second one was my first, oh shit, I love this moment, was when we have occasionally weekend events with my
Mm-hmm.
live action roleplay group, and there is a fort, like a permanent wooden fixture, that's built down there that they like to do like raids on and battles on.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was my first weekend event, and everyone was kind of milling around, and then all of a sudden they said, "Charge." And everyone picked up their weapons, rushed into the battlement. It was chaos. There was arrows flying everywhere. There was shield wars being built. There was spell tags flying over people's heads. It was insane. And I just remember standing there among it for a moment and just being like, this is what live action roleplay is.
Mm.
This like adrenaline that is like going through my body, like in the most exciting way possible. Um, with like surrounded by all of my friends, covered in armor and paint, and it just was like the oh shit, I made it kind of moment. And that for
Oh,
me
that's
is a
awesome.
real like stuck in for me. I remember exactly looking at the fort and just man, there's just no other feeling like it, I don't think.
Mm. No, I agree with that. Yeah. That fort was amazing. We only done it
Mm.
once, but oh, it was
Yeah.
great. So I think I remember the one that you where you found the character. I don't know if it's the same character that I'm thinking about
Mm.
that died and you found them. It might be a different one. I don't think I was there for
My character has had both of their best friends die.
that. Okay, so it was one
So
or the other.
the second time that they had their character die. Sorry, I know it's like telling people about moments your characters had is very much like, hey, I had this dream last night. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where you're just kind of like, oh my god, like they're talking about their character again. Um,
I'll
but it's my
listen.
turn to talk. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's your time to shine now.
Yeah. Basically, my character's friend had been on the path. Like they could either um the way that magic works in this world is that it's a constant, like it is everywhere, and sometimes it comes and it forms beings, and that happens to be my character and another person, my friend's character. Um, and when these beings die, they can either return back into magic or they are just disrupted and just pass away.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a big deal. Death is a big deal for our characters. And they had to choose whether they're going to go back into the magic or whether they're going to just simply rot away. And they had that choice taken away from them because some other character had beef with the character and decided to slay them. And then, of course, my character watched that happen as my character's friend was beheaded in front of them, and they were not allowed to join the magic force universe. I didn't cry that time. I didn't cry. But I did get to have that moment of the main character's friend has died. I'm just going to go like slowly turn towards the person who did it and just charge, like sword up. I chewed them out, and it was just my character ended up giving them a threat. Like, if you ever see me again, I swear to the Naga that you will never see, eternity and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it was just one of those really badass moments where you're just like, oh shit, I actually get to do something that means something to this universe that we've created. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of LARP kit that you own?
Oh, that's hard. Like, there have been kit pieces that I spend a lot of money on, but they might not necessarily be my favorite because they don't hold the same amount of meaning.
They're just expensive.
Yeah, they're just like, ooh, they look pretty and they're expensive. But my favorite is this scarf that is bloodied and dirtied, and that was, off the shoe of one character, and like it really depends. At the moment, my favorite piece of kit is my bow and arrows, because I'm just loving. Whenever I grew up, I would always see myself in ranger characters, Robin Hood, Legolas, or the Merida. That would be the character that I resonated with the most. For some reason, yeah, it's the hair. It's definitely the hair, or what used to be the hair. I have a feeling it'll probably be my pirate tricorn that I wear for my main character, Salem. Mostly because it has changed so much along with her character. It was bright and shiny and new and empty and basically just a piece of plastic when I first got it. And then I added like moss and sand and pearls and scarves, and just it's evolved with the character.
Yeah.
And I like to display it when I can. Check out my Instagram if you want to see it. At lowercase Grace.
All right. We'll put that on
plug. Sorry, I'm dead. I don't have an Instagram anymore. So.
Oh, that's right. Your old Instagram. Your past Instagram.
My past Instagram, if you want to see my ghost Instagram.
On the flip side, what's the most expensive kit you own?
Ooh, that'd be some of my armor.
I've seen some of that. Looks crazy.
Yeah. I first things I bought during the first lockdown, because I had money. I had just come out of a breakup. I was very much just like, I'm gonna buy whatever I want, and it happened to be 2 full suits of armor.
As you do.
As you do. And I had felt no regrets afterwards. I put it on now and I feel strong. I put it on now and I feel like I could charge into battle. It's heavy, so I probably couldn't.
Have you worn it?
But I haven't had a chance to wear my full set of armor yet, so I'm waiting for a character. I'm thinking of attempting something like Swordcraft, which is a more battle heavy events to wear armor in. But yeah, they're probably my most expensive pieces, I think, mostly because of shipping, because they came from Europe. So
fair enough. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And
insurance.
And just armor in general.
Oh yeah. But yeah, wouldn't give it up for the world.
Well, that's good. You shouldn't. You spent money.
Yeah.
No, but
exactly.
It's good that I saw it. I was like, damn, that's impressive.
Thank you. It it looks strange because I'm quite a short person.
Yeah.
So when I'm all armored up, I like clink around, and I'm just like, I look more like a dwarf than I do an elven ranger. But
I can
I'll take
see
it.
that.
I'll take it.
Dwarven Grace just milling
Yeah,
about.
just need the beard. I'm working
Yeah.
on it.
So what would be, as like, if you were to play a dwarf, let's say, what would be the weapon of, like, an armored dwarf? What would be the weapon of choice?
Ooh, I've been wanting to buy either a great axe or a. There are some ridiculously sized hammers at LARP that don't hurt. You could swing them around. It feels just like a, I don't know, like a bop it, I guess. Like they're so soft, like pillows, basically. I've really wanted a big oversized hammer because as I said before, I am very short. So like a comically large hammer or like a battle axe.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's awesome. I could see that's what I pictured when you said, like, you'd look like
Mm.
a battle dwarf. I thought, like, just a giant hammer.
Yeah.
It would be awesome. What's one storyline that you never finished but you always wanted to?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I we'll just talk about another character I had.
How many have you had?
So far I've had 3 player characters and a couple of NPCs.
Okay, I didn't know
One
you
of
had
my
NPCs.
characters, yeah, for the occasion, on occasion, they ask players to join, like bandits, for example, and sirens and things like that. This character, what is called a Rue character, uh, is an NPC. Started as an NPC, and then they said, well, they were supposed to die in the game that we played them in, and they said, look, if you're really attached to the characters, you can make them live if you want. And so by the time I had finished the game, I was like, I'm gonna hold on to this character. This is Paddy, my very not me character.
Okay.
He's the most different character I've ever played, and in the end, I had to kill him off as a character because I wanted to bring in a new character, and I just felt like he just didn't really fit. I wasn't really resonating with him as much anymore, but he was so much fun to play because he was sassy, and he was a performer, and he was just he wore glorious belts and colors and just very over the top, just very suave, very Jack Sparrow feeling character. And for me, who enjoyed playing a masculine character for once, just I had a ball. So I'm sad that I couldn't bring him in, but I'm bringing in another character in his place. So
Well, that'd be
yeah,
interesting.
technically he's died, but
Well, I mean,
he
you're dead,
still
so it'll
lives
work.
in on my heart. Yeah, technically all my characters are dead.
No, there'll be LARP in the afterlife. I'm sure you can bring
Ah,
them all back.
thank God. Otherwise, I don't want it. You're gonna have to send me back to wherever you came from, because
Yeah, because you
I'm
need LARP.
getting one ticket onto the River Styx if there is no LARP in heaven.
That's fair. So what's a moment you're ashamed that you saw or took part in? It doesn't have to be personal; it can be character driven, but that you're ashamed you saw or took part in. Um, like, you kind of look back and was like, "Man, I wish that was a waste of time." Or
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. That's tricky. The first one that comes to mind was when I made I am not the most combative player. I love running around and hitting people with weapons, but as far as like overwhelming other players and winning battles, I don't think I've won a single battle, which is fine. I'm not embarrassed by that. I am embarrassed when I forget basic combat rules. Like there's something called drum rolling, which is when you have 2 weapons and you just like bap, 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 bap. You're supposed to have like swings, and they have to be counted rather than just attacking rapidly.
Like chopping at them, essentially.
Exactly. But when someone's running at you with like a hammer and a shield, it's like you don't really have that moment to be like,
You can't
oh,
rationalize,
like,
yeah.
yeah, right, left, well, duck, things like that, unless you're like very well practiced at it. And at this point, I wasn't very well versed in combat at all. And immediately I drum rolled a player, and they were like, you can't do that. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, how did I forget this most basic rule in combat? But I guess it was just a moment of panic, and they were like, "Dude, it's fine. We'll go again. It'll be fine." But I was very much like "Oh God, how could I do that? Such a newbie mistake.
Yeah.
Such a rookie." But I look back at it and I laugh because I'm not much better at fighting now. But like, I know a little bit better not to
You're a bit
do
more.
things like.
Yeah, you don't make as many like rookie mistakes as you said.
Yeah. Now, I mean, that didn't help me. I still died, but if I ever have to fight someone in heaven or whatever this ideal world is that we're going to, then I know, no drum rolling.
No drum rolling, especially not in the afterlife. That'll get you.
Yeah.
That'll get you thrown out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What's a LARP trope that most people hate but you love, and you won't hear like any different?
That is such a good question. A LARP trope that other people. Okay, so a lot of people, and it's not just in LARP, it's also in D&D, kind of shun the stealthy rogue boy that likes to sit in the corner and act like an edgelord, and then just expect players to come to him or her or them, whoever it happens to be. I know a lot of people like have disdain for it and don't really, think that they're very engaging. But I relish in that kind of character. They just need to be listened to, I guess. Again, another character, I made a character specifically so I could go up to those characters and engage with them and listen to their backstory, listen to where they're coming from, ask them why they're wearing all black on a 30-degree day. Like, it's really just a communication, and that character had such a blast because they learnt so much about people that weren't comfortable in talking and just needed someone to come up and ask them if they were okay. So yeah, I had such a delightful time talking to those characters who you know aren't the most social, but as soon as you start talking to them, yeah, they run their mouths. They have so much quality to them, so many layers that people don't ask about. Like people like, oh, they just have tragic backstories, and I'm like, well, like, don't we all? Like, come on.
It's not the whole point of this.
Exactly. Buy them a drink. Find out, who died in their life, what mission they're on, who gave them that scar. Like.
Yeah, not enough people do that. You're right, especially like in a situation like that, or like you said in D&D, people just work around them instead of with them.
Yeah, and I love those characters especially because they create contrast between, the bright, peppy adventurer and the dark edgelord. Like there is purpose to both roles. I feel
not everyone can be bubbly and happy-go-lucky.
Exactly. As an introvert myself, I know what it's like to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna let people to come to talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's good that you did that. Like, yeah, not a lot of people would have done that.
Thanks. I tried to do it. It was for myself as much as it was for other people. So it was good that we both got something out of it.
What's the worst moment, or if you want, or what's the worst piece of kit that you own?
Oh, some of those shoes, man. Some of those boots. They've seen better days. They are falling apart. They are smelly because you are running around sweating all day. Like, of course. Same with a couple of tunics, except tunics can be washed. Shoes cannot be washed.
In the bin.
But some of them, character shoes can be the most, like, they speak volumes about your character sometimes, and sometimes they're just for comfort. But my character shoes are mostly for looks, which means they're not generally comfortable, which is something that you think I've learned by now. But yeah, they're manky. You need I need I should invest in some more. But once you find some good ones, they'll last you ages.
Yeah, it's been hard. Like, yeah, I got those boots off Wish one time. That was a bad idea. But yeah, I know what you mean. Boots can, they can make or break it. Like, they could make your costume look that much better. But if they're not comfortable and you're running around in them, oh boy.
Oh yeah, blisters. Not good.
Have you tried putting like insoles in?
Yes. Sometimes I get most of my shoes from op shops, so I can't
Okay.
necessarily get the size that I'm after. So sometimes if I put inner soles in, it can be a little bit tight. Yeah. So it really some of it's either a win or a loss, really.
And most of the times it's a loss. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, most of the times.
What's one LARP moment or story that legitimately, and I think we've already touched on it a little bit, but that legitimately made you emotional, whether it was a good emotion, a bad emotion, or both?
I just after the second time that my character's friend had died, they had me given a eulogy or a letter from the character that had died in advance.
Oh, snap.
And while my character was in mourning, like they literally just been beheaded, I had just returned from talking smack about this guy who had killed him, killed my character's friend. And I was holding this letter that was very dear to me, and another character
said,
came
fuck
up.
You or something.
Yeah, just like, you're the worst. It meant a lot to the character. And
so someone came up?
Yeah, so the letter itself was even just a resolution between the two characters because they had been having a fight, and the letter was basically, I forgive you. You can move on from this. And then a friend of the character who had just beheaded my character's friend came up, took the note, tore it in shreds, threw it away. They had given me the nod beforehand to see if that was okay, and I'd given them a little out of character nod because obviously it's very important that you communicate that like out of character, and yeah, you don't want to just go around and just, that would have been terrible. But they tore up the letter and were jovial and ran off. And my character, instead of going and chasing that guy off and threatening him and talking about his ancestors and whatnot, my character just fell to their knees in defeat with these like shreds of paper in their hands, and was just like, that was when they had begun mourning. And I, as a player, had never felt this like sweep of grief so strongly, and anger as well. They were just kind of like fighting each other. And it was a very beautiful moment for me as a character and as a player, because that again would begin to start their next arc. And yeah, it was just a very character building moment, and I still have it. I still have the shreds of paper.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's also on display.
You tried putting it back together?
Just like taping it together, just like just like uncly crying.
Yeah, just tapes in a frame.
Yeah.
So to go back to the other stuff, do you believe in alternate universes, or how do you feel about alternate universes?
Yeah, I mean, I've had it described to me before, and I'm not going to say no. I obviously I have no PhDs, but I do have PhDs nuts. I'm kidding. keep cut that out. Yeah, no. And after alternative universes, funny because we just finished watching Into the Spider-Verse before I died.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
Which is a very good movie and touches on alternate universes, and made me start thinking about it. I'd like to consider that there is like maybe an alternate universe where there is no war, and an alternate universe where I didn't cut my hair short. And
sounds like you regret the decision.
No.
It grows back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just in a very long time.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
But yeah, I hope the me's and all the alternative universes are happy. Um, I do like to think that there are alternative universes, but yeah, I think I got the best one because I got my baby and I got
Oh,
my friends, so I wouldn't give that up.
oh, that's so sweet. So while you're in the afterlife, you get taken up to an alternate universe, and you meet an alternate version of yourself.
Oh no.
How would you like what would you like to see from that alternate version? Besides the long hair,
The long
flowy
yeah,
hair.
I've missed my princess hair. I would hope to see at this point someone looking exactly the same as me. Like I am at my most comfortable with myself that I have been.
Oh,
And I
that's
think
great.
that's just because of I'm like mentally.
Mm.
I'm not the most physically fit or the most stylish that I've ever been. Actually, I don't know. I
Oh
feel like I
no, the
dress a
short
bit
hair
better.
begs to differ.
Thank you. I would like to see myself like a kinder version to myself. You know what I mean? Like I would like to look at that person and know that they've been nicer to themselves than I have been to myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I think so.
And
Yeah,
I'd like to see a
like
version
in
of
the long
myself
run.
that, that isn't soured by, life. Actually, now I'm kind of curious. I do kind of want to see what I would look like as a total like spunky, angry person. But no, I would like to see someone who's not soured and bittered by the world.
That's
And
fair.
yeah,
I
you know
guess
what I mean? Does that make sense?
yeah, it does. I guess it goes along with the whole like you'd want to live in a world with no
Mm,
like anger and bitterness and war and stuff.
mm.
So I think
Yeah.
I agree with that. Although the asshole version, I just imagine like spiky hair and spikes everywhere.
Yeah, more
And
piercings.
yeah, more piercings.
Sleeves. I
Yeah,
would have gotten my
exactly.
tattoos earlier.
Yeah, and like just like shirts with and like gloves with like spikes on them and stuff.
Yeah, like just
Like
got
no one
like an
can touch you because they would probably
AK-47
die.
strapped to my back.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus, we're in a war zone apparently.
I want to see my post-apocalyptic self.
Oh, that'd be sick.
They
That's
would probably die a lot earlier than I would, but yeah. Sorry, you were saying?
It's actually funny you mentioned post-apocalyptic because the question your alternate self asks you is, what's a LARP you'd love to do either as a one-shot thing or as a continuous game, like different style of LARP?
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. I would like to do what is called a parlor LARP, which is
Okay.
a primarily roleplay based LARP. It could be I'm particularly fond of Victorian era set LARPs,
Oh, nice.
also post-apocalyptic
Hmm.
LARPs. So something that is just small, intimate, uh, beautifully set, dressed LARP that is just you and your characters
Hmm.
going against whatever happens to be going up against them. That for me, I would love to experience.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds really good. I'd be into that for sure.
Mm,
I'd like it, but I'd like to do a post-apocalyptic LARP as well.
mm,
I think
mhm.
that'd be a lot of fun. I wouldn't know
And
how you'd integrate like the problem, whether it be zombies or like a
mm,
nuclear explosion or whatever. But
mhm,
I think it'd be really cool.
mm, mhm.
Um, yeah, that's a good answer. I
Oh,
like that.
or even like a cyberpunk
Oh, that'd be nice too. Yeah, I guess
era
you could
LARP.
integrate. You could
Like,
integrate like post-apocalyptic and cyberpunk.
yeah,
Mm.
just like neon lights, funky clothes.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Kind of make it like the Met Gala, like had a war in it.
That's awesome. That's it. We're gonna
Yeah.
bring back Township and make it like Township 2099 or
Oh,
something.
yes, Township 2099. Yes. It's gonna happen.
That'd be fun.
Mm, hmm
Oh, how would you pull that off? Anyway, that's a different conversation for a different
Well, you'd
time.
have
But
to be alive for
oh
part of
yeah,
it.
that's fair. Yeah, I mean you could do it in the afterlife.
Totally good.
Yeah,
Totally good.
I mean people are already dead, so it's already post-apocalyptic in a way. No,
Mm.
that's not right. That's not how that works.
I mean, I wonder what LARPing while being like benevolent and all knowing and all seeing would be like.
Oh, still fun. I would imagine.
Still fun. Yeah.
Yeah. A little like creepier, maybe. I don't know. Because you'd have to be like sneaky to get around the whole all-seeing thing. But if everyone's all-seeing, I guess you could play it like kind of dumb it down.
Huh. You'd be like, you know how in D&D where you have like party moments where you're like, we're basically gods.
Yeah.
That's basically that.
But everyone's like that, so everyone's on a level playing field. That'd be good.
Yeah, true.
Okay, for the final question. So, you've eaten 2, you've exploded, and Lacey and I are coming around to see you, but we go in and we see it's just Grace everywhere. Like you've just eaten to the point that you've just exploded. Just
yeah, just self-combusted.
Yeah, just from all the eating and all the stuff you were doing. And because I tend to carry around coffins. I don't know if you know that about me.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense now.
The problem is I like to buy my coffins discounted. So they're always smaller than they should be. So I have to stuff. A bargain. Yeah, why not? I have to stuff all of Grace into this discounted coffin. And I'm trying. I finally get everything in, but there's so much of you in there that there's only room to take one piece of LARP, either gear or I guess if you have any recordings of it, like a recording, on like a VCR, because why not? Into the coffin. Well, what would you like to take with you to the afterlife to show everybody on the first LARP day in the afterlife? Can be anything.
I would like to. Can it be something that I don't have yet?
Sure.
Because I'm in the process of making what is essentially like a grimoire or a book filled with character notes and just kind of like a compilation of all of the notes and coins and feathers and just basically like a scrapbook of all of my characters and their friends. I think I'd like to try and squeeze that in with me. It's not finished yet, but that's all right. I can finish it off in the afterlife.
Yeah, you can finish off in the afterlife. All right, so you put your grimoire in. That's cool. I like that.
Thank you.
All right,
well, that, and I can never remember my spell chants, so I do need a spell book in there with me.
Yeah, I tried to make a healing, elvish healing chant.
Yeah.
And then we stopped going for some reason, so I can never finish it. But yeah, good times.
It's all right. We'll start the LARP and we'll get that chant finished.
Yeah, but now it's going to be like with heavy metal behind it if it's going to be in post-apocalyptic cyberpunk. It's going to be, that'll be crazy. All right, well, that was it. That's all the questions you have. Entered the afterlife.
Can I lay to rest now? Can I have like a solid 100-hour nap?
Sure, I'll allow it.
Amazing. And where's the food at?
Just click your fingers and the food will show up. You got everything in this afterlife, whatever you want.
Hell yeah.
Although some people look at you funny considering you died eating too much, but don't worry about those people, they're idiots.
I never learn. It's fine.
Fair enough. Well, congratulations on your death.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a part of the podcast.
Hey, always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Anytime I die.
I hope you enjoyed. Next week, I will be talking to another friend of mine. The conversation went quite long and it was quite informative. So I might have to be breaking it up into 2 parts, but we'll see how that goes. But again, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. And please do check out Hobby Goblins and subscribe to it if you can. It is a lot of fun to do that. So yeah, and remember, it is never not awkward when your parents start listening to your work. Hi Dad, hi Mum.